Hello everybody, it's Dana. Welcome back to my channel, and this is Mermay Day 2. Now, in the first video, I talked a lot more about my process and my thinking, but since this illustration is a lot more simple, I thought I'd want to talk about a topic that really affected me while I was drawing, and it's basically continuing to finish a piece even if you don't like it. So, I always struggled a lot of the times when it comes to these everyday challenges. I struggled with it when it was Inktober. I've struggled with it when it was Mermay, and those are usually the two challenges I try to take on, just because May is usually a good time. Most of the time it's towards the end of the school year. I usually get less work, and honestly, Inktober is never really a good time for me, but I like to participate in it because everybody is. So I always try to, and then I end up not making it through. And I'm really determined to finish Mermay this year. Even if I miss a couple days, I'm still going to try to see it through to the end. But the main problem that I have with these challenges is that I feel like the time limit always restricts me, and I feel like I'm not able to give my all in these pieces when I'm mainly focused on quantity rather than quality. I didn't show it at the beginning of the video, but I had this idea for the prompt. The prompt was warrior, and I was really stumped because, like I already said, I wanted to continue to use a character, and the character that I had, she wasn't really a fighting type. So I was really stumped, and I thought it would be cool if she had like a seahorse companion that was swimming with her, and she was like followed behind it with a sword, which honestly was a really cool idea. I really liked the sketches. I liked how I drew the seahorse. I really liked the whole movement of the piece, but because of the limitations of the time, it really made it difficult for me to do, and I found myself, it was late at night and I needed to get something done, which is really unfortunate when it comes to these types of challenges. I was really upset that my idea was not the idea that I decided to go with, the one that you're seeing me ink right now, it's not very special. It's literally a character standing there holding a sword that's in like its little like swath. I forgot what it's called, but you know what they pull swords out of, and she just looks upset. Nothing really screamed warrior. The pose wasn't very creative, and that was the whole point why I wanted to do one character instead of making multiple, because I wanted to focus on the pose and the environment, and this one just fell flat. It's really easy to get discouraged, especially when you know you can do better and you just didn't. But I think it's important for me personally to finish my art even if I don't like it. Personally, me finishing this drawing was more important than me having a really cool idea, and the main reason why is the purpose of Mermay for me. The purpose of Mermay for me was to reconnect with doing finished traditional pieces and get back into learning how to use watercolors in basically all traditional mediums. I've been working in digital for a really long time, mainly because of how I'm trying to upkeep my Instagram, client work, etc. And I feel like my digital art has a lot more versatility than my traditional art. Digital art is so easy to throw up on a shirt, throw into a video. It's a lot easier for me with the things that I want to accomplish. Traditional art takes a longer time. You make mistakes, you can never take them back, and whenever I take pictures of it, my paper does not look white, and that bothers me. But I really feel like it's important for me to be well-rounded throughout all of these mediums, because no matter how I feel about it, a lot of people don't value digital art as much as I think they should. And even regardless of that, I think it's just important to know multiple mediums so you know how to be an artist in multiple different settings. I remember I was in an art club at my school, and mainly the projects that we were taking on were doing projects around the school, so like painting murals, making boards out of cardboard, things like that. And I felt like I was no help because I didn't really know how to use acrylics at the time. I've obviously come a long way from that, but I felt very helpless, and I felt like I couldn't apply my skills to what they wanted. And I really want to be more versatile as an artist, so that's a main reason why I feel like I need to get connected back to my traditional art. Obviously, I value digital art, and honestly, I do think it is my favorite medium, but I find it really important that I'm well versed in traditional art as well. It was really hard for me to finish this piece knowing that I most likely would not like the outcome towards the end, but I took that energy of frustration and I decided to turn it into something that I could have fun with. So I knew I was very unhappy with the colors from the first day, and I felt like it ruined the drawing. So I felt like today would be a good day to try different colors, avoid limitations, and just do what I felt. And while I was coloring her skin, I was thinking of it would be really cool to do kind of like a s'mores kind of color palette, so very neutral, but have like the main popping color be like orange, because orange can be neutral, but it can also be very bright and vibrant. And so even though I don't really like the end product, I'm not very proud of it, I still feel like I got something out of it. And I think that's why it's important to still push yourself through your drawings even if you don't like them. Obviously, you don't have to do it all the time because that can be a little bit more discouraging than helpful. But personally, I found it that if I know a piece that I'm doing is not going to turn out the way it is, I'm able to use it to find an experiment. I remember when I was first getting into watercolors, and I was really disappointed in how I was handling them. Obviously, they weren't the most professional paints, but I honestly think they were pretty good student grade, and it was just really hard for me to grasp the concept. I was really trying to do these like watercolor portraits, so more rendered pieces, and they were just not turning out. And I remember one night I was like, you know what, you're just going to have fun, you're just going to experiment and not worry about the end result, it's all about the process. And I really fell in love with watercolors. And it would be really cool if the end piece came out really magical and the lesson was just let go and you'll make your best art. But honestly, it was bad. It looked bad. And I was okay with that because that wasn't the purpose of the art. Sometimes art isn't really about the final product. Sometimes it really is about the journey or experimentation or learning about something rather than feeling something just to look pretty. I'd rather be an artist that takes a lot of risks and experiments to learn new things than an artist that constantly does the same thing over and over again. And I'm still trying to get out of my comfort zone, and I think that's what I was trying to do with this piece. Obviously, the colors are not revolutionary, but it was something for me to try and something for me to reconnect with again. And I feel like that's the value in this piece, not necessarily that it is the best piece I've ever done in my entire life, because of course it's not, but it's something that I can use to grow as an artist. And I think I'm going to look at MERMAY like that throughout the rest of the days. Obviously, I'm drawing every day. Not every single one of them is going to be better than the last. It's just not possible. I can't put that huge standard on myself because I'll only ruin my future art projects. So I've decided instead of drawing for a final outcome, I should draw to learn. And I think it's a better and more productive way of thinking, especially when you're approaching challenges like these. So is this the best MERMAY that I have ever done? No, ma'am. Is it the best that I will ever do? Hopefully not. Did I learn something from this process? Yes. And is the drawing bad? I would say yes, and I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with that because now I know what my goal and my intention is. And that brings a lot of calmness to this entire situation. It's very clear I haven't been happy with my MERMAYs for the past 2 days, but hopefully we can get better at that. So thank you for tuning in and watching my video. Hopefully I'll be able to get a video out a day for MERMAY. And I just really appreciate anybody who watches consistently, anybody who supports me no matter what the platform is. I really appreciate you guys following my artistic journey and seeing me grow as an artist. As always, I will have this up on my Instagram, and if you would want to see some more finalized and finished pieces, you can check out my Redbubble, and the link is in the description. If you have any questions about the materials I use, that's always in the description, and follow me on Instagram under Hot Tea, spelled the same way. Love you guys, and see you next time. Bye.